Hey, how's it going? This shouldn't be too weird.
Culture, what? Culture, what? Culture, what?
Hey, look at it over there!
Culture, what? Culture, what? Culture, what? Culture, what?
I don't know what that was.
We now return you to Creature Feature. Hello, my name is Frankenstein. Perhaps you know me from my many film roles or my breakfast cereal. I was created by Dr. Frankenstein.
In the name of God, now I know what it feels like to be God.
Okay, Doc, take it easy. Perhaps you should lay off the monster. My story is based in part upon the Jewish folklore tale of the Golem. No, not that Golem. This Golem was from 16th century Prague. In the tale, a rabbi creates a man out of clay and brings him to life to protect the Jews of Prague from Christian persecution. In fact, if we look at the story of the first man, Adam, in the Talmud, we are told that Adam was created a golem, or a man made of clay. The Bible also concurs that Adam was initially molded out of dirt or dust. The word golem comes from the Hebrew root goyim and can be found in Psalm 139 in verse 16, which says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body." But that's not all, is it, Doc?
No, it's not. And if Frankie's done with Sunday school, then I can drop some knowledge on you. But we should get something out of the way right up front. Look, I can already hear all you keyboard commandos out there, all you people living in your mother's basement complaining and saying, "Oh, Frankenstein's the doctor, not the monster. Frankenstein's the doctor, not the monster." Okay, look, I made him. He's mine. In the highly unlikely event that any of you might ever go on a date and subsequently procreate, your child would probably have your name. No one would ever think of giving you static about it, but here I create life from death, and all you can do is whine about his name. It's the doctor, not the monster. Look, if it's my kid, he would have my same name. If I built a car or a pair of jeans and stuck my name on him, nobody would have any problem with that. So look, he's my monster. It's like my kid, so he's got my name. I'm Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
This here's my boy, Tiny Frank. Tiny Frank! Look, here's his driver's license. Is that enough? Can we finally stop with the whole name thing? Enough said? Okay, so on to item 2. So I'm supposed to tell you about how lots of cultures have stories of creation where some kind of powerful godlike being creates humanity, maybe from the dirt or the dust or the mud. And lots of cultures have that story, but the Greeks gave us the story of Prometheus. Prometheus was a titan god of fire. Anyway, he's credited with creating humanity from clay, and he defied the other gods by stealing fire and giving it to the humans. Prometheus is known for his intelligence and for being a champion of humankind. So yeah, he creates people and then gives them fire. Great plan. I'm sure nothing will go wrong there. Anyway, Prometheus became a figure who represented human striving, particularly the quest for scientific knowledge and the risk of unintended consequences. So much so that when Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein in 1818, she subtitled it The Modern Prometheus. So, yeah, next. Oh, I must be up. Well, Frankenstein,
That's Frankenstein.
is a heartwarming story of a man whose desire to play God leads him to reanimate the dead.
It's alive!
The creature he gives life to goes on to destroy and terrorize, and eventually the creature itself must be destroyed. What seems on the surface to be a simple tale is actually packed full of thematic meaning. Are you ready to unpack it? Let's go! The first and most obvious theme that Frankenstein presents has to do with the perils of technology. Dun, dun, dun! Where Where are my Luddites at? Humanity has always had a difficult relationship with technology and the struggle to control it. Frankenstein almost seems to offer a counterpoint to the Dracula story, that collision between the old world of superstition and the modern world of science, but more of a warning that new technologies many times carry with them unintended consequences. So if you're alive right now, you've seen this truth, right? The telegraph, the telephone, radio, cars, flight, television, plastic, fusion, fission, the atomic bomb, nuclear power, pesticides, microwaves. These are examples of technologies with unintended consequences from the last 100 years or so. How about cloning, GMO foods, cell phone radiation, CRISPR gene editing technology, 5G, neural net, RNA vaccines, more cutting-edge technologies we are being warned about. But it's early days as yet. We may not have the information to know, but some of us have learned that caution is appropriate. I mean, you're likely watching this on a pocket computer with an invisible connection to a global data source right now. And clearly, that technology has had zero negative impact on life or humanity, right? Next, as we often do, let's consider some other cultural retellings of the story. TV shows like Doctor Who, Black Mirrors, and even Rick and Morty carry an ongoing dialogue about our relationship with technology and our inability to master it. In films like The Fly, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Weird Science, Edward Scissorhands, Jurassic Park, and even Spider-Man, we continue to warn ourselves.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Because we fail to ask certain questions.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
It seems unlikely that we'll ever escape technology, and really, why should we? It has a lot of great benefits, but with the advancements in data gathering, artificial intelligence, and deepfake technology, it might be a good idea to keep a close watch on our relationship with technology. The next theme we might suggest stems from the first, and it has to do with pride and ego. Science is supposed to be all about evidence and reason, but when science is motivated by pride and ego, it can destroy. Pride comes before the fall, and if you've been on Earth any period of time, you have likely seen what happens when someone gets something that they are in no way prepared to handle. We could call this, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Have you ever watched Kitchen Nightmares?
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
The show where Gordon Ramsay tries to save failing restaurants? How many of those failures started with someone who thought it would be fun to own a restaurant, to have a place to hang out with their friends and socialize? Lots and lots. Those people were not prepared to run a successful food service business so much as to extend their social lives.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
That was Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, extending the metaphor. Oppenheimer was speaking about his feelings after witnessing the horrific forces he had unleashed on humanity through his work. He saw himself as death personified. In the Bible, the first three kings of Israel show us how quickly pride and ego can corrupt. Saul got so caught up in the authority of his kingship that he offended God by calling on the dead to guide him. David, a man after God's own heart, got so caught up in his kingly power that he committed adultery and then murder to cover it up. And King Solomon, David's son, was the wisest of all men. But by the end of his life, he admits to being absolutely wrecked by the knowledge and experience of pretty much anything he desired. He tried it all and came back empty. If we take that theme and extend it out, we find a third theme, or a bonus theme, if you will. Dr. Frankenstein, this man of science, leaves the world of the rational behind in his mania. He's driven by pride and ego, and he runs every red light. He runs past every caution sign. He is in the throes of a singular vision. He arrives to conquer, to slay the beast, to kill the dragon. But what does he find? He, and we, find that the monster we set out to vanquish looks an awful lot like us. Why do we confuse the person and the name Frankenstein? Is it the monster? Is it the doctor? Or is it both? I think that might be the truth behind what Dr. Oppenheimer saw. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun talking to you today about Frankenstein and that kind of stuff. Maybe you have some other Promethean-themed stories that we didn't mention, or what's your favorite Franken sequel? You could leave a comment below. We'd love to hear about it. Tell us all about what you think, and until next time, I guess I better get out of here. So, can somebody hit the lights?